What's up, everybody? Andrew Steele here. Today I want to talk to you about something a lot more serious than most videos. I bought my first RV in 2011 and I've been detailing RVs for 10 years. So over that decade, I've met all kinds of different RVers and different people in the RV industry, and I've heard different stories, and I thought I'd share a few of those stories with you today. And if I can't help spread some awareness on a few things and maybe help prevent some of you from fatalities, actually. And unfortunately, part of RVing is accidents do happen and fatalities do happen. So in today's video, I want to talk to you about the top 3 things that could cause a fatality while RVing. And today's video is based completely on stories that I've heard in the RV world. So these are all stories that I've heard, and I'm just kind of passing these stories along. So I'm not an expert on research, on surveys. So, I don't know what the exact statistics are on this issue, but I do know that the stories that I've told are from real RVers, and there's no reason for anyone to make up these stories. So 3 main causes of fatalities in RVs. The number one is fires. There's all different things that cause fires in RVs. Different models have there's just even newer RVs, nicer RVs that I wouldn't expect to have fires, do have fires. And you can search around RV fires online and find all kinds of stuff talking about RV fires. There's different fire suppression systems too that can be installed to help prevent those. But engines, refrigerators, propane, a lot of different electrical fires, a lot of different things that can go wrong in an RV that can cause a fire. So you want to be very careful. Make sure you do all the fire prevention stuff possible. Make sure that fire extinguishers are handy. If you can install fire protection systems, that's important. Another common cause of fatalities, from what I've heard, is RV accidents. And most of the RV accidents that I've heard of are caused by tire issues. So all different issues can cause tire blowouts. One of the most common ones in the RV world is the age of the tires. It's very important to check the date codes on tires and make sure that they're within the manufacturer's ratings, because even if a tire has no miles on it, if it wears out by time, it can have a blowout, can cause a serious accident, which could lead to a fatality. Another common cause of those blowouts is tires being underinflated. So not only do you need to make sure that you have good tires with good date codes, but you also need to make sure that they are properly inflated. It's very important to check the PSI of the tires, and that's why there's a lot of different tire pressure monitoring systems for that. But I like to manually, I don't even like to depend on a system. I like to manually check my tire pressure before I get on the road in my RV. One of the causes of fatalities that I'm going to bring up in today's video has actually, it's a very controversial topic, because I've tried to be safe and try to stay on the safe side. And I'm going to be honest, because I've done that, it's hurt my detailing business significantly. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. But the third most common cause of fatalities while RVing that I've heard of is falling off of the roofs of motorhomes. When you fall from 12 feet, it's a much higher chance of fatality than if you fall from 6 feet. And I try to reach out to OSHA to try to understand their whole laws, because when I'm working on these RVs commercially, I want to try to be as safe as possible. And I left a voicemail with OSHA, never got a call back from them. Hey, it doesn't surprise me. They're too busy. But hopefully, if someone from OSHA wants to call me and talk about this, I'd love to talk more with someone from OSHA. Now, that's more of a when people are working. But even RVers can still look to, okay, what are the standards when people are working on these RVs? What happens is, especially washing roofs of RVs, and this has been This has been a really tough topic for me because a couple years ago or a year ago at some point, was studying this, and after I heard of a few different instances, there was one instance, there was actually two instances that happened in the same day was the stories that I heard, and I heard the same story from two completely different people, that at the same RV resort there was two fatalities in the same day, both from people falling off of the roofs of their motorhome. And one was a mobile detailer and was washing an RV, took one bad step and fell off the roof, and that cost him his life. And on that same day in the same RV resort, the gentleman was described as being young 70s, had worked in construction or a labor type job his entire life and was pretty handy, and was up on the roof of his motorhome doing some work. One wrong step and took a fall, and that was his final step. So when you're up there on the roofs of these motorhomes, you can literally take one little minor step, if you slip on something, your shoelace gets untied, you fall from 6 feet, you can still have significant damage. But when you fall from 12 feet, your chances of serious injury or fatality go up significantly. And that's why OSHA actually, if you look at the OSHA regulations, and I've tried to study it as much as possible, and for myself as someone that's climbing around on these RVs, I want to be compliant with OSHA standards, and ignorance is not okay. Just because you don't know any better does not make it okay. So there's actually a lot of people putting you at risk in a lot of RV parks every day. And when you have mobile wash guys and mobile detailers, anyone that's working on your rig, if they walk on the roof of your rig without fall protection, they are breaking OSHA law. And OSHA has been cracking down on larger RV repair facilities, is some of the word that I've gotten, and that's why you'll see more people stepping up and getting fall protection. Because technically, if you step up onto the roof of that motorhome, now this is just how I understand the laws, and contact OSHA yourself if you really want to know better. But the way I'm interpreting the law is, I don't know how they do it, but there's guys in RV parks all over that are climbing on roofs of RVs, and it actually really hurt my business significantly. Last summer I was working at a park and had an agreement with the management of that park that I was going to be, myself and one other detail company were going to be the exclusive detailers in that park. Well, the management didn't even give me a heads up, and they broke our agreement, and they allowed another detail company to start working in the park. And I'm shocked that they would break that agreement. That's a whole different story. But the reason that they let another company is they said that people were complaining that my prices were too high and that we didn't climb on the roof to wash the roofs. And so I was trying to, my prices may be high. I try to pay people well, and I'm definitely not cheap. That's a reason, but the other reason was that I wasn't willing to climb on the roof. So this RV park literally had enough people complaining about me that I wasn't climbing on the roofs, that it was so important for them to get their roof washed. And even though I said, hey, OSHA law, this isn't legal, the RV park still chose to side with whoever was complaining about me, and they let in another company that started washing the roofs. Well, right away I started getting all these cancellations. It was even someone that said that they were a huge fan of the YouTube channel. When they booked the appointment, they was all gung-ho, and then that same person called me and said, hey, I gotta cancel my appointment. I asked them why. Well, because you guys won't wash the roof and the other guys will. So I really got my butt kicked this summer, just trying to hold to my principles and trying to follow the OSHA law and trying to do what's right and do what's safe. And it hurt my business badly. So it's unfortunately it's happening a lot, and that's why I want to shed a light on it and bring attention to it, because this is something that when you climb on roofs, I remember growing up, having friends. I had a friend in high school who had whose father fell off an RV roof. There's serious injuries. So I've heard a lot of different stories, and if you have any stories about people having major injuries from falling from large heights, please drop a comment below. I'm just trying to help educate as many people as possible. And if you got people, you know, washing your RV, if one of them slips and falls off the roof and someone dies, I would bet you money that there's going to be a call to an attorney, and you're going to be named in a lawsuit. The park's going to be named in a lawsuit. I just know whether the lawsuits hold up or not, someone's going to be filing a lawsuit, because when there's a fatality, that's what happens. So in my business, washing RVs, we won't stand over a 6-foot ladder. I'm trying to be compliant with the law. And the other thing is to actually build a actual fall protection system. It would cost like $50,000. You'd have another, I mean, RV wash prices would be like $2,000 to wash an RV. Now, if you had a closed station, a location where you had fall protection set up and you could have RVs come to you, that would be a different model. So hopefully someone that's in a dense enough population where there's enough RVs can get some sort of facility set up with fall protection. I've looked into it. I don't know if it's worth it for me to spend 50 grand just so I can climb around on somebody's roof of a motorhome. We can wash them pretty good from the sides, just spraying them off real good from 6 feet up. Standing on a 6 feet ladder, I'm 6 feet, that's 12 feet, plus my arm is another 2 or 3 feet. So we can at least get that power washer high enough where it's spraying the roof off efficiently. But I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna break the law to try to make sure your roof gets more clean. It's just not worth it to me. And hopefully if you go up there, it's the holiday season, and hope you're all having a great holiday season. And just be careful when you're out there. Make sure that you check the date codes on your tires. Make sure your tire pressure is good. Don't go on the roof of a motorhome without fall protection. And if you do, you just be very careful and realize that you're definitely taking your life into your hands, and that one false slip or one wrong step or one slip could be your last step. So if you're gonna go climb on the roof of your motorhome, be extremely careful, and I would recommend having fall protection set up. And then make sure that you check for fire hazards, and make sure that you are prepared for a fire as much as possible and do as much homework as possible. So greatly appreciate all of you watching today's video. Hope you're all having a great day. Make sure to be safe this holiday season. I greatly appreciate all of you, and I want you all to be able to keep watching these YouTube videos. So hope you're all having a great day.